learn to keep quiet.
Okay.
To listen. Because then it will not result into the leading story. It's a suggestive approach. Maybe do a hypnodrama with the husband followed by a suggestive approach.
And don't apologize.
And don't apologize. Very important. Yeah, alright class. This is an address at the request of Nija. Nija, you probably have to introduce her. This, I believe, is a student of CHI. She's done level 1 and she's had an amazing experience which she wanted to share with Nija. And Nija's thought was if she shares it with the class, it will probably be much better. So,
even I don't know what the experience is.
Fair enough.
She is Aneela.
Yes, Aneela, all yours.
Hello everybody. See, how I came into this level 1 was a miracle. Now that's a separate story. You must hear that later on. And it so happened I did my level 1 with Neerja, and I finished the level 1 maybe on the 20th of January, or like 20th, and 29th I left for Vietnam. Okay. So I had just 9 days in between, 9 days or whatever, like maybe 10 days, exact date I'm not very sure. We finished level 1 I think 19th or 20th. Whenever. Basically it's just that I had just 10 days and there was hardly any practice. But I had 2 angels with me, that's one is Neha, there right there, and one is Neerja. So now I just cut the story short. When I was in Vietnam, I was going to, I'm a spiritual healer. I work with the jails, I counsel the juvenile prisoners. So I had gone in exchange to Vietnam. So I was working in the jails there. Now this day I was supposed to reach my session 10:30. So 10 o'clock, it was very warm. So I just thought I'll buy a bottle of water and go for my session. Now when I was buying this water from that shop, in the middle of the road, and it was Chinese New Year. This is on the 10th of February. This incident happened on the 10th of February. And can I sit? I've just got this is after 3 weeks of bed rest. This is the first day I have come out of the. So sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just please. And how much I've been talking this morning? No, it's okay. It's okay. So it was Chinese New Year was on the 14th of February, the 10th of February. Like Hanoi was lit up like a bride in the night, in the morning. It was very crowded, and so I was standing in the footpath kind of a thing, buying this bottle of water, and there was this person coming on a motorcycle. And I think the whole of Hanoi lives on motorcycles. I mean, it's so crowded, they have the whole world, they carry everyone. So he was carrying, in Chinese New Year, like we have Christmas trees. In Christmas, they have this particular orange tree that they have, with all those bonsai. So he was carrying, a motorcycle is this big, the tree is this big, so usko aise karke he was holding it. So this is the person now. Now that tree gave me a push, little push. So this guy was actually bypassing the road, which is very crowded, through the footpath. So it pushed me and I fell on a flight of steps kind of a thing. That ATM thing that, and my nose, it just went into that step, and the next I see is my nose was like this. This is like all this, I had a reconstruction. So it was just here, and I was like, it was just bleeding, flushing out and then stop. Again blood, And the only thing at that time I thought is, I'm not going home in a coffin. That's the thought which came to me, And there's this person came to me, madam, how can I help you, hospital, there is that. I said, no, just put me in a taxi, I'd like to go. I mean, I didn't know what was happening, There was a lot of pain, that shooting pain had started, and I could feel my nose like this. He put me in a taxi, I showed him the card, they were very polite, and this is the hotel I want to go to. I didn't want to go to a hospital with those people. I didn't know what hospital, whatever. Because, like my mind was not working. Now, when this pain was coming, I just saw my 2 angels, Neerja and Neha. I just, that self-hypnosis, what I had learned just about few days ago, and I was not, I had not even experienced something like, I had not even practiced things. And I just started, and believe me, I did not feel, that pain just disappeared. I was bleeding profusely, the taxi was full of blood, but that pain just disappeared, I could, and in that taxi took me about 20 to 30 minutes, and at 30 minutes I went into a certain, I went somewhere, And I planted this in me, that I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to feel, I am going to, like keep myself strong, and I am going to, work on this. So I went there to the hotel, then they took me to the hospital, the international hospital, whatever. And I told this doctor, I just want a few stitches. He says, no, you need a reconstruction of this thing, because you're like, the nose is not there. Who's with aap kiske saath aaye or whatever, and they ask me, who's going to be, and then they don't speak English, they only speak Chinese, Vietnamese. It was a lot of problem. I couldn't talk to them, and then, or they speak French, so I had a lot of problem. Anyway, I was able to like contact a few people, then I was sent for surgery, and when I was going for surgery also, again I tried this again. Again that pain, every time I would feel the pain, I would go into this self-hypnosis. And that was such a marvelous experience, because, and the moment I went into that stage, I planted that inside that, no, I'm going to be strong, I'm not going to panic, nothing is going to happen to me, and that worked. And after my surgery took about 2.5 hours. And after 2.5 hours, when actually I was, maybe next morning, every time the sisters would come and say, madam, you need a painkiller, I would say no. Every time they would come, you need a painkiller, I would say no. So this experience of how I overpowered and how I conquered this thing, that pain, is something I'd like to tell everyone. Like this self-hypnosis, what I have experienced and how this has helped me. I could only see my two angels, standing there with me, do whatever, like I would sometimes say, oh, am I doing the right thing? And they would say, yes, you're on the right track. So this is something I would like, that's what I want to do. And after that I came back to India, again I had 2 surgeries. It's just been 2 weeks, like it was on the 10th of February. And today is the first day I got up and I've come out, and I wanted to tell this to Neerja, and Neerja invited me.
Good.
So I mean, how powerful this is, I have realized, and then I also told her that I would think, and when I was supposed to give this exam the first day, I was so nervous, the moment Neerja gave me the paper, I became blank. I said, Neerja, I can't do it. And I don't know, the power that she gave me, I cleared that paper, and after that I think I've cleared the practicals also.
Absolutely. Very, very beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, like, I got all my reports, like my nose was not like this.